And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, as well as our engineer extraordinaire, Nick the Geek, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
I certainly am. Thank you very much. Thank you, John Bon Jovial. And we'll be checking with John Bon Jovial here in not too long a time. I'm just going to keep him sitting there in suspense for a little bit longer. Thank you, listeners, for joining us again. Another great show I think you're going to enjoy this week. And we're going to start it off with an old friend of ours, come back with a new release, and we're going to hear it right now. So, MIkalyn, tell us about it.
Hi, this is MIkalyn, and you're listening to the David Bowers Awards. Enjoy.
There was something in your eyes went click. Saw you standing in the back room with your tattoos, and I knew I should have turned away. You were about to give my world a shake, and I never really felt this way. These people don't do much for me. You got something a little extra. Normally I don't, but I think I'll let you get to know me. Maybe hold me if you're lucky. Yeah. The pressure's getting stronger. The room is getting harder. Your hands, they grip my collar, gripping on my collar, and you're stopping me from leaving. The pressure's getting stronger. The room is getting harder. Your hands, they grip my collar, gripping on my collar, and you're stopping me from leaving. Let's keep it secret, you and me, treading the deep end dangerously. Let's keep it secret, you and me, treading the deep end dangerously. Dangerous. Yeah, there's something about the way you move, got me watching every step now, in my head now. And you know that I won't shut you down, cause I like how this is turning out. Yeah, you know me, you can hold me if you're lucky. Yeah. The pressure's getting stronger. The room is getting harder. Your hands, they grip my collar, gripping on my collar, and you're stopping me from leaving. The pressure's getting stronger. The room is getting harder. Your hands, they grip my collar, gripping on my collar, and you're stopping me from leaving. Let's keep it secret, you and me, treading the deep end dangerously. Let's keep it secret, you and me, treading the deep end dangerously. Dangerous, dangerously, dangerous, dangerously. Stuck in the deep end, you and me. Yeah, I'm addicted, in too deep. Sink to the bottom quietly. Swim to the deep end dangerously. Let's keep it secret, you and me, treading the deep end dangerously. Dangerous, dangerously, dangerous, dangerously, dangerous, dangerously, dangerous, dangerously.
There you go. And wasn't that neat? We had MIkalyn introducing her own song. Well, at least saying hello before we played her newest release. It's called Deep End. I can I can see where it may get subtitled dangerously, but I want to spread the word. The actual title is Deep End, so when you call your favorite radio station and ask them to play it, you want to get the right title so they know what song you're talking about. Deep End by MIkalyn, and we thank her for sending us that track to play, and that is, in fact, her new release, and I think every song she does shows her progression as an artist and her improvement, and I think this is easily the best song she's done so far. Don't you, John Bon Jovial?
I do. She's showing a maturity in her style and her production technique that has been absent, and I think that this song is going to get some coverage, a lot of coverage on terrestrial radio, especially some of the the milder end of the spectrum, if you will, for hip-hop stations. It might get some coverage on CHR, if there is still such a thing out there in radio land. Very, very nice song, and boy, huge potential with this.
And I like it. It's got just a hint of darkness to it. I mean, it's not downbeat or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but it's got just that little hint of darkness to it that really kind of perks your curiosity. It kind of makes you want to listen to the lyrics to see what's going on, which is always a good thing. Too many times we listen to music and we like the song, and I remember, go back to the old Dick Clark American Bandstand days, and they'd ask the kids, "What'd you think of that song?" And they'd say, "Oh, I'd give it an 8. I love the beat." Well, they have lyrics too on some of these songs, and you get something that's kind of dark and mysterious like that. It kind of tends to make you perk up and listen to the lyrics. So, we'll definitely be watching what happens to Deep End by MIkalyn. And right now we're going to be moving on because we've got guests coming up. We've got all kinds of fun things going on here and some great new music here on the show where you and our guests get to pick the awards. So if you have someone that's done something great or something dumb relating to music, drop us a line, David at TheDavidBowers.com, and put awards in the subject line. Then tell us who you think is deserving of an award and why. And who knows, we may use it right here on the show. We want to also, first off, before we get into awards or anything, we want to say hello to our friends in Canada. And I guess we're going to have to stop saying ladies and gentlemen when we talk to the audience, because I'm told that Air Canada has now instructed its people that they can no longer use that term, but rather must say everyone, so that they don't offend anyone.
So should it be good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary, whatever the hell you are?
I think it has definitely gone too. I've suspected this for some time now, but it has definitely gone too far. It is getting just plain absurd. And the thing that really knocks me over, the thing that really, really knocks me off is these things are all done so that we don't offend someone. And when you stop to what they don't stop to think of is every time you do something like this, you are, in fact, offending somebody else. It's a losing proposition.
I'm offended by the fact that I can't offend anybody.
Yeah, okay.
Think about that one for a second. Right.
We'll move right on. Yeah,
I'd rather not, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to take a brief pause here. I have a sad note that I want to share because we've mentioned this gentleman on the show in the past. It's a moment to remember a friend of mine who was a large part of my getting into radio and pursuing a career in music. I mentioned him, some time ago, Lou D'Amelio Jr., who was the owner and proprietor of the record shop in Rome, New York, which actually achieved local legend status in the years that he had it, which was a long string. I'm thinking from, he started around 1958, and he kept the store open until I want to say sometime in the pushing 1990. I don't have the date right in front of me, but it was around 33 years, whatever that figures out to. He was just a fixture in the city, a local legend, as it were, an amazing life. In addition to his now legendary status as a part of local history, he was an accomplished writer in music theater, as well as film and music. He won a lot of awards for his work in those areas, including writing and directing. He was an influential member of the Mount Carmel Community Theater, and he was famous for those late-night literary discussions at the historic record shop in Rome, New York. And just among some of his many credits, I learned from reading his obituary, which I might add, typical Lou D'Amelio, he actually pre-wrote his own obituary, and I think it was one of his nieces that finished it and added a few things that he didn't leave in, because Lou is a pretty modest guy. But that was I learned quite a bit about some of his many accomplishments. And I think the thing that he'll be most proud to be remembered by is his love of his people, and always having time to talk with his people about anything. And boy, he left the door open if you wanted to be one of his people. All you had to do is be a friend, and he'd be a friend right back. Lou D'Amelio Jr., you will be missed, but not forgotten. Moving along here, we do have our guests waiting. Wow, they are here and ready. We want to thank everyone, and we're going to move right along so that we can get to them rather quickly, because we've got a lot of people and a lot of music here today. And John Bon Jovial, anything you'd like to add before we move on to the first song?
Your eulogy over Lou was very nice and very heartwarming, and I could tell heartfelt, and I know that you and I had spoken of him in the past, and I know that he was a big influence on your life. So I congratulate him for influencing you, because I know that you've been in radio just a few years longer than me. And I remember being a novice myself back in the early 70s at WQYK in Tampa, and you taking me under your wing. So, it's a ripple effect. And so rest in peace, Lou. You will be missed.
And thank you for that, John Bon Jovial. I think, I don't think, I know that is probably the nicest thing you could have said to me, because if I could advance anything out of what he gave me, then I have honored the man appropriately, and I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. That's very nice. Moving on here, we got a guest by the name. You're going to have to hear this one yourself. They call themselves Annie in the Water. They do some pretty good sounds, and I think you're going to enjoy them. So let's listen to one of them right now. Annie in the Water, and Hey, I'm on my way.
Hey, mama, wasted. 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 Fade away. 10 miles a quarter shine like the sun. I tried to speed up, but you can't be done. When I land in Jackson and feel the dirt, I like to say